I don't remember the exact moment we stopped talking. There was no argument, no slammed doors, just a slow disappearance of words. At first, it felt temporary. Busy days, long nights, life getting in the way. But silence has a way of settling in quietly until one day you realize it's no longer visiting. It's living with you. I told myself not to overthink it. I always did that, made excuses instead of asking questions. Her messages became shorter. Mine stayed the same. Then one day, even the short replies stopped coming. We were still together. At least, technically. We still shared routines. The same coffee shop, the same couch, the same nights falling asleep facing opposite directions. But something was missing.
You're quiet.
She said one evening, not looking at me. I was about to say the same thing, I replied. She nodded slightly. No reaction, no follow-up. The conversation ended there, before it even began. That's how it always happened. We'd circle around the truth, careful not to touch it, because touching it meant admitting that something wasn't right. Started noticing the pauses more than the words. The way she hesitated before speaking. The way I typed messages and deleted them. Sometimes I'd stare at my phone, wondering which sentence would cause the least damage. When did honesty start feeling dangerous? One night I finally asked, "Are you okay?" Not "how was your day?" Not "did I do something wrong?" Just, "Are you okay?" She took a breath. A long one.
I don't know,
she said quietly. That answer stayed with me longer than anything else. We didn't talk much after that, but something shifted. Silence no longer felt neutral. It felt heavy, like something waiting to be said. After that night, we became careful. Not kinder, not closer, just careful. Like two people walking around fragile glass, pretending the floor wasn't already cracked. I kept replaying her words in my head. I don't know. It wasn't an answer. It was a door left half open, and I didn't know whether to push it or pretend it was closed. Days passed without real conversations. We spoke about groceries, about schedules, about things that didn't matter enough to hurt. But the silence between those words kept growing. It's strange how you can sit next to someone you love and still feel alone. One afternoon, she texted me first. Not a long message, not an explanation, just, "Can we talk later?" I stared at the screen longer than I should have. Later meant honesty, and honesty meant risk. "Yeah," I replied, 100%. I wasn't sure I believed myself. That evening, we sat across from each other. The room felt smaller than usual. She twisted her fingers together. I notice things like that now.
I feel like we stopped listening.
She said slowly, not accusing, not angry, just tired. I didn't know how to start, I admitted. She nodded.
I didn't either.
The honesty surprised us both. Maybe we weren't avoiding the truth. Maybe we were both waiting for permission to say it. She looked at me then, really looked.
I miss how we used to talk.
She said.
Before everything felt careful.
I swallowed. I was afraid of saying the wrong thing. She exhaled softly.
I think I was afraid of saying the right one.
That sentence stayed suspended between us. For a moment, no one spoke. But the silence felt different now. Not empty, not distant. Heavy, but honest. This was the part where we could either retreat or step closer. I leaned forward slightly. I don't want us to disappear quietly, I said. I'd rather have hard conversations than none at all. She didn't answer right away. Her eyes softened.
Me too,
she said.
But I don't know if I know how anymore.
That scared me more than silence ever did. Because wanting to try and not knowing how felt like standing on the edge of something real. And for the first time, I understood that saving us wouldn't come from one conversation, but from choosing to keep having them. even when it hurt. After that night, something changed between us, not in a dramatic way, not suddenly better, just exposed. Like we had pulled back a curtain and realized how much had been happening in the dark. Once you start telling the truth, it's hard to go back to pretending. We talked more after that. Not every day, not perfectly, but more honestly than before. Still, there were things neither of us had said yet, things that sat quietly between us, waiting for the right moment, or the wrong one. That moment came on a quiet evening. No plans, no distractions, just the two of us, sitting on the floor, backs against the couch.
I think I need to say something.
She said. Her voice wasn't shaking, but her hands were. I didn't interrupt. I didn't reassure her. I just listened.
I've been feeling disconnected for a long time.
She continued.
Not because of something you did, but because I didn't know how to explain what I needed.
She paused.
And instead of asking, I pulled away.
That hurt, but not in the way I expected. It hurt because I recognized myself in her words. I did the same thing, I said. I noticed the distance, but I thought ignoring it would make it disappear. She looked at me. Really looked.
Why didn't you say anything?
I took a breath. This was it. The question I'd been avoiding. Because I was afraid, I said quietly. Afraid that if I named the problem, it would become real. She nodded slowly.
I was afraid too.
She said.
Afraid that if I spoke up, I'd ask for something you couldn't give.
The honesty in the room felt heavy, but it didn't feel unsafe. For the first time in a long while, we weren't protecting ourselves from each other. We were standing in the same uncomfortable truth. Maybe love isn't about avoiding pain. Maybe it's about trusting someone enough to sit in it with you. We didn't fix everything that night. There was no clear plan. No promises that everything would work out. Just an agreement.
I don't want to go back to silence.
She said. Neither do I. Another pause, but this one felt intentional. As the night stretched on, I realized something important. We weren't saved by understanding each other perfectly. We were saved by choosing to keep speaking even when our voices weren't steady. And maybe that choice, made over and over again, was what really mattered. Honesty didn't fix us overnight. It didn't make mornings lighter or silence disappear completely. If anything, it made everything feel more fragile. Honesty didn't fix us overnight. It didn't make mornings lighter or silence disappear completely. If anything, it made everything feel more fragile. The days after that conversation felt different. Not worse, just uncertain. We were more aware of each other. Every word mattered now. Every pause felt louder. I kept wondering if we had waited too long. She seemed quieter again. Not distant, just thoughtful. One evening, I noticed she was watching me, like she was trying to memorize something. What? I asked. She hesitated.
I'm scared we'll fall back into old habits.
She said.
That we'll say the right things now and forget them later.
I didn't answer right away, because I was scared of the same thing. I don't know how to guarantee that we won't, I said. But I know I don't want to stop trying. She nodded, but her eyes stayed serious.
Trying is exhausting sometimes.
That sentence stayed with me. She was right. Effort doesn't look romantic from the outside. It looks like uncomfortable conversations, like catching yourself before going silent, like choosing to speak when it would be easier not to. Love isn't just a feeling, it's repetition. A few days later, we disagreed about something small, nothing important, nothing dramatic, but I felt it. That familiar urge to shut down, to let silence handle it. This was the moment that mattered. Hey, I said, stopping myself. I don't want to ignore this. She looked surprised, then relieved.
Okay.
She said softly.
Let's talk.
It wasn't perfect. We stumbled, we misunderstood each other, but we didn't retreat. Later that night, lying in bed, I stared at the ceiling. Was this enough? Was effort enough to close the distance we'd created? She turned toward me.
Can I ask you something?
She said. Always. She took a breath.
If this stays hard, if it never goes back to how it was, would you still choose this?
The question landed heavier than I expected, because it wasn't about the past. It was about the future. I turned to face her. I don't want how it was, I said slowly. I want something more honest than that. She searched my face. For a moment, I didn't know what she would say, and I realized something frightening and freeing at the same time. Honesty doesn't promise staying. It only gives you the chance to choose each other for real. We didn't answer that question right away, not because we didn't care, but because we finally understood how much it mattered. Some questions don't need quick answers, they need honest ones. The days that followed weren't dramatic. No big moments, no sudden clarity, just small choices. Checking in instead of assuming, speaking instead of withdrawing, listening, even when it was uncomfortable. It felt unfamiliar, but also real. One evening, we walked together without a destination. The city felt quieter than usual. She broke the silence first.
I think I finally understand something,
She said.
I wasn't afraid of losing you. I was afraid of needing you.
I stopped walking. I was afraid of the same thing, I admitted. Needing you made me feel vulnerable, so I stayed quiet. She nodded slowly. There was no anger in her expression, just understanding.
Maybe silence was our way of protecting ourselves.
She said.
But it also kept us apart.
That was the truth we'd been circling for so long. We stood there for a moment. Then she asked quietly,
So, what do we do now?
I didn't give her a perfect answer. We keep choosing honesty, I said, even when it's messy, even when it's hard. She looked at me, not searching, not uncertain, just present.
I can do that.
She said. We didn't promise forever. We didn't rewrite the past. We chose something smaller and somehow bigger. We chose not to disappear into silence again. Love doesn't survive because it's easy. It survives because two people keep choosing it, with open eyes and open voices. As we kept walking, I realized something. Endings aren't always loud. Beginnings aren't always obvious. Sometimes they sound like two people finally saying what they were afraid to say, and choosing, not comfort, but honesty.